Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chu, a physical therapist, and yes, I am your alternative career coach for today. Today, we're going to be talking about how to transition from OT to OTPreneur. We'll be back in a few seconds, okay?
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Good evening, good afternoon, Alternative Healthcare Career Group. If you're watching live, comment live. Watching on the replay, comment replay. Well, anyway, we have a special guest for today. We haven't been going live. We've been so busy. I was just talking to Steve. He said, I said, I'm so busy right now. He said, busy is good. But anyway, our guest for today is Steve Glukh. He's an occupational therapist turned entrepreneur. So we call him OTPreneur or something like that. And he's also one of the speakers in our virtual geriatric summit. Hey, what's going on? Whoever you are, Facebook user, and another person says live. Thank you very much, whoever you are. Well, anyway, so he's like an occupational therapist, and now he turned to be an entrepreneur. We're going to ask him, who you are, what you do as an occupational therapist, and why become an entrepreneur. And then what are the different alternative careers that you can do as an occupational therapist? Again, well, anyway, I'm going live here in my in our storage area. Let me just show you what it looks like. We have a green screen, okay? But the green screen, kaboom! It's our storage area. We got some gloves there, all their supplies. So remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. When you're opening up something, you just have to take action. Oh, Pandora! Pandora Mabai from Africa. Hello, Miss Pandora, the advocate of change. Hey, if you haven't seen Pandora, you got to follow her, ladies and gentlemen. Well, anyway, let's go back to Steve, like a squirrel. Where is he at? Steve, where are you at? There you are. There you are. Please,
Hello.
Steve, can you please tell us who you are, what do you do, and tell us how we can transition from being from OT to entrepreneur. Is it more like the mindset or the setting or what? Can you please tell us?
Sure. Thank you, Mike. It's glad to be with you again on the show. It's been a while, but as you said, busy. Busy is good. Every time somebody tells me they're busy, I always look at that as a positive. Okay, you want to be busy. You don't want to be out there just not knowing what to do. And if you are in that mindset where you're looking for something to do, well, that's why we have this topic that we're discussing. We want to give you ideas of what you can do, and not only for OTs. I'm an OT. My name is Steve Glukh. Currently, I am the CEO of HelloNote. I also am a practicing occupational therapist, and I always had a passion for programming and software. So that's where I tied those two together. And I brought HelloNote, which is an EMR for occupational, physical, and speech therapists, to minimize the amount of time you spend doing documentation and administrative work, and essentially make your practice flow seamlessly. And it's an all-in-one system, so you could do your scheduling, your documentation, send appointment reminders, your electronic billing, print super bills, receipts, invoices, all of that stuff. So definitely check it out if you have not. We'd love to schedule a demo with you. You can reach out to hello@hellonote.com or go to hellonote.com and click schedule a demo. There's no charge for a demo. It's free. It's one-on-one, so you can actually see what the system looks like, ask any questions that you have, and if it seems like a good fit for you, then awesome. If not, we'd love any feedback, and we're always looking to improve. So as far as myself, I did become a occupational therapist because I love helping people. That's also one of the passions of mine, just making sure I can be one-on-one with a client, the patient, and getting them back to where they were prior to their injury. And that's what we as occupational therapists tend to focus on. However, it's not for occupational therapists only. It's speech therapists, physical therapists. There's also wellness coaches. We all have the same goal of that. So in my case, I'm an occupational therapist, and that's what I love to do. I love to help people. And I also, as my alternative career, I also run a SaaS business, which is Hello Note, and bringing an EMR to everybody else.
Steve, I forgot to ask you, where did you graduate at OT school?
So I graduated from Long Island University, and they have multiple campuses. I lived in Brooklyn, New York before, and in downtown Brooklyn, they have a campus. So that's where I went to OT school. It's a great OT program. If you are looking to become an OT, then I definitely suggest looking into it. They also have PT program as well. I'm not sure about speech, but I do know they have a physical therapist program.
I've been meaning to ask this. Is Long Island really a Long Island? Just kidding.
It's farther down there, but yeah, it's still part of New York. They have their own counties and everything. Some they even have their own like laws and stuff. Like New York City is kind of 5 boroughs, so we have our own. We have our mayor and so on, and we have our own rules and laws. And Long Island can have their own and so on. And then there's also upstate, of course.
Wow.
Which is not part of New York City, but we're all still in the state of New York. But New York is awesome. You should definitely come on down. We'll show you around. And there's a lot to explore. A lot of opportunities in New York as well. So I know you might not know this, but I was actually born in Ukraine. So with what's going on, it's really crazy. Because that's where we immigrated from Ukraine to the U.S. to New York, and it's so amazing to have the opportunities that we have here in the U.S. that others don't have around the world. So you really have to be blessed and understanding and appreciative of where you are and the opportunities that you have, and don't let those opportunities go to waste. So that's why we're doing the show, because we want to open up different ideas for everybody to say, maybe where you're working now, maybe that's fine right now, but maybe that's not where you want to be next year or 5 years. So what else can you do with your credentials?
I was actually going to ask you that. I didn't want to, I was going to ask you that later, but thank you for pointing that out, that you were born in Ukraine and then you moved and migrated here in the United States. And most of us here in the group, we're complaining about our current situation, but to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, it could be worse. It could be worse. If you are right now here in the States watching right now, I mean, I know Pandora is watching from Africa, but we have people all over the world watching this. But if you are here in the United States and you're working for someone else, you are blessed. You're not. Yes, we're complaining about the gasoline and everything, but we are professionals. We're healthcare professionals. We still, encounter COVID and everything, but we are way definitely blessed. I feel like I'm very fortunate. I'm here, came from the Philippines. I'm still very thankful of the country. United States, to be honest, is still one of the best countries where you can live in. Some people are like, oh, I moved to Canada, I moved to Australia. I've been to them. I've been to different countries. I traveled around the world when I was a pharmaceutical rep, and United States is still the end destination for me. So thank you for pointing it out, Steve, that we are blessed here. And I'm sorry what's happening to your home country, but let's go back to our topic, right? I don't want to be emotional. Right? I'm an emotional guy. Yes. I cry, who's this? Thank you very much, whoever you are. Good show. Appreciate you. Well, anyway, if you got any questions, ask Steve. Ask him. But you can't ask him if he's single. He's married and he's got kids. So, but let me go back to our topic, Steve. Why did you decide to transition from OT to become an owner of a clinic, or from being a software guy? I mean, what made you decide to transition and do this?
Great question, Mike. So I like that you said transition, and that's an important keyword. So you have the choice to transition or do something on the side, and that's the beauty of our profession. We can do something on the side that others in different fields cannot do or can't do as easily as we can. So for me, I was, from a young age, I was always interested in programming. Okay, I went to computer school when I was like around 8 years old or something like that, and it was an awesome experience. It's what led me where I am today because I have a passion for programming. So it wasn't until later in life where I sitting in front of a computer all day, it gets a little boring, right? So there's no interaction. However, for a lot of programmers out there, that's what they want. For me, that's what I wanted at one point. That's all I cared about. I would just wanted to sit in front of a computer, program, and get my end goal with the results that I wanted to achieve with the software. And I was perfectly happy with that. However, for my personality, I like interaction. I like networking with others. So essentially, there was one point in my life where I decided I wanted to do something else, and I explored different career paths. And occupational therapy is what I landed on because I love the fact that with occupational therapy, there's so many different verticals you can go with. You can work with geriatrics, pediatrics, adult, mental health, ergonomics. There's just so many opportunities, including software, adaptive equipment. So I went into occupational therapy. I'm really fortunate and glad that I did. And that's what led me to have a career in occupational therapy. And then I decided, well, I don't want to transition out of occupational therapy. I still love what I do. However, I want to do something on the side and see what I could do. So that's where we developed the first version of Hello Note. It was just something for our own office. It was just for OT, just for myself to catch up on notes. Then we had our PT counterpart use it, and he loved it. And then we took it to the next level, which was opening it up to others across the nation. Of course, we started off small. But that's how it always is. You start off small and then you get bigger. Okay, if you play your cards right, you will get bigger, and you don't have to dawn on ever regretting that you didn't try, because that's one thing I don't like for myself is I don't want to regret anything. So if I want to try something, I try, and if it doesn't work and it fails, no problem. It's still a learning experience. Okay, so there's a lot of, and I know we spoke about this before, Mike. I've had a lot of other potential paths, and it didn't work out, but that's fine. It was still a learning opportunity, and that's what I tell everybody. If it doesn't work out, something that you try, no problem. Just look the other way and use what didn't work out to your advantage for the next thing that you want to do. And there's nothing wrong with trying. Okay, so I always tell that to people because I do a lot of calls with our clients or just in general consulting calls. And one of the biggest things people tell me is that they are scared. They are scared. They're in their comfort zone. And I understand that. Okay. Everybody has a comfort zone. But if you truly are passionate about something, then you have to get out of that comfort zone and try. Okay. You do have such an amazing support group with so many of these Facebook groups. So you have your alternative career Facebook group. You have Next Level with Kara. You have Tony Maritato with the Medicare billing. There's just so many support groups now where you can ask questions, and then there's people that are willing to help you. So I didn't have that when we started. There was nobody to help. We had to do everything on our own, and it was a lot of work. And there was a huge possibility for things not to work out. Now it's more in your favor because you have so much support groups. You have so many people willing to help. So definitely reach out. There's so many of us that are willing to take calls with you, answer your emails or questions, just to get you on the right path.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, anyway, I would just like to highlight what Steve said here. Several key words. The reason why I like interviewing people like Steve and Kara and Anthony, because you get to be inspired. I need inspiration myself. I like to motivate people. See, I'm running out of English. English is not my first language. It's
Mine
past
too.
lunchtime. I'm running out of English. But here's the thing: you gotta be specific with the people you talk to and hang out, ladies and gentlemen. Every time I talk to Steve, I'm encouraged. So here's the things that the words, you got to write things down, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't write things down, you forget, right? So it becomes a reality when you write things down. I like the word he said, regret. Do you see that tattoo that says regret and it's wrong spelling? You don't want that, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if Steve and his family didn't decide to move here in the States. It's probably going to be there in Ukraine. I mean, bless their heart. We don't want that to happen to our family. But imagine that. Imagine me not moving here in the States. What will be my life back home, right? That's the regret there. And I like what he said, transition. Here in the States, in other countries, it's so hard to transition. It's very difficult because you're stuck with that current situation. But we are here in the United States, transitioning from one job to another is fairly easy. A lot of people will say it's easy for you to say, Michael, but I can say it myself. I moved from a different country. Steve moved from a different country. I moved probably 4 or 5 states already. If you, like what Steve said, if you are really passionate about this, whatever you want to do, whether speaking, whether seeing patients, whether starting your own company or creating your own EMR or whatever, you're gonna do it. You're gonna push it. And that comfort zone that Steve was talking about, it's not going to be a comfort zone. Your comfort zone will be the uncomfortable zone. You're going to be so good that you're uncomfortable when you're in a comfort zone. That's what's happening to me. I'm like, I'm so idle right now, and I need to do something else. And I'm sure Steve does that too. So be comfortable being uncomfortable, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go ahead and ask more Steve. Steve is such a busy man. Steve, uh, let me ask you this question again too. What is the biggest challenge right now, both as an entrepreneur or as a CEO of a company? What's your biggest challenge, and how are you turning it around, and how are you learning from all of this, man?
Great question. So yeah, with every business, you always have a challenge. So right now, one of our biggest challenges, uh, so so I'm sure a lot of you know, especially if you use HelloNote, HelloNote 2.0 is on the brink of release. So our back end team, our front end team, all the whole team, the whole HelloNote team has been working really hard in the last 2 years just to bring this to life. With the pandemic, it did slow things down, unfortunately. But that's the thing about HelloNote. So we don't want to stop improving HelloNote 1.0 just for 2.0 because we understand all the users that we have, we need to take care of them. And that's one of the challenges we have where we had to split our team up into two, one to work on 1.0 and the other half to work on 2.0. And that actually makes it challenging to bring a product with a reasonable time frame and meeting deadlines. So, however, we still need to take care of our clients, and that's a challenge for us because we want 2.0 to come out. It's going to have more features, more stability, be faster. There's so many benefits to it, but at the same time, we can't just stop HelloNote 1.0, right? Because we still have users that are depending on it. So one of our challenges is grabbing what do we go with releasing 2.0 quicker or do we go with improving 1.0 and so on.
Mm,
But you know what? It's a good challenge to have because it actually teaches us about ourselves and our team. Okay, it teaches us about problem solving and prioritizing. And prioritizing and problem solving, you can't have a business without those two. And as challenging as that is, it's imperative that you learn that as early as possible because if you don't know how to prioritize, it's going to get much harder. It's like climbing an uphill mountain with no grappling hook. At one point it could just get you, and everything could fall apart. So that's where we are. That's it's one of our challenges now is we need to make sure we prioritize, we problem solve, we just make things as efficient as possible, and we roll out 2.0, with confidence and making sure the migration is seamless for everybody.
wow, wow. Well, anyway, for those people who are watching live, comment live, watching on replay, comment replay. We're talking about how to transition from OT to entrepreneur with Steve. But somebody commented here. I actually want to study psychology and add more value. There you go. Boom.
Yeah,
That's the
mental
word
health
there.
is such a good field right now. It's
Yeah.
such a powerful field. right now. So psychology is really one of the fields to be in now, and I think it's an underappreciated field as well. But that's exactly what we're talking about. If you have that passion, and that's still what you want to do, you can take what you know. You can get your psychology degree or take some certification courses in psychology, and do that as a niche. Okay, and you could actually market this because there's not a lot of others that may be doing what you're doing in your area. So definitely, if that's what you wanted to do, and you still want to do it, then all the power to you.
I love what the word Steve said. The word niche. You got to niche down, ladies and gentlemen. Niching down is very important because the riches are where the niches are. The niches where are the riches are. Whatever. I'm running out of English. So my niche, Jerry Hab. Ooh, I actually taught the class today. I exercised, but was I perfect? No. I just taught the class. I'm like heavy. I got big face and everything. But you don't have to be perfect, right, Steve? And I like what Steve said here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're watching live, comment live. Watching on replay, comment replay. I like what he said. Challenges are part of it. If you're not used to getting challenged, guess what? You're not a therapist. Our patients, we challenge them every day. We push them every day. So expect some challenges along the way when you're starting your business, when you're finding your alternative career, when you're wanting to find that next level in your life. Expect challenges. You know what? Because the bigger the challenge, I'm spitting here. I'm sorry, Steve. I hope I didn't spit at you.
No.
It went to my laptop. So the bigger the challenges, the bigger the victory. Okay. So I like what Steve says. There will always be challenges. All right. So accept that. There's this show called what do you call this show? How I Met My Mother, and whoever that actor is, I forgot his name. He's always challenge accepted. You gotta learn to accept that challenge, my friends. All right, Steve. Any last parting wisdom for our friends in our alternative career group, in our podcast, and wherever we're streaming this, sir?
Yes, just to bring us to the topic of alternative careers. So I have a list here of some career choices that you can do to use your credentials. So if you're a physical occupational speech therapist and you don't want to do treatment anymore, there's nothing wrong with that. It's better to choose another career path that you're passionate about than to be miserable doing something that you don't like. So just some things I pulled up here. So you could teach. You could be a teacher in a university. Okay, so some people don't want to do hands-on treatment, but they love the teaching aspect of it to be a professor. Program directors, marketing manager. You could be a marketing manager for clinics. So you have so much knowledge probably that you don't even know that you had just by working in an outpatient clinic, skilled nursing, assisted living. And that is so valuable because others are looking for that expertise. So you could definitely be a marketing manager or even a consultant. Okay, so get your website up and running, get a few testimonials, maybe help people out for free, get some reviews going, and then you can market yourself to be a consultant for an area of expertise that you know about. There's also medical sales, such as pharmaceutical. Mike, I know you did pharmaceutical sales before, and that's to some people that's a very lucrative field.
Yeah, I sell drugs for a living, man.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, their possibilities are endless with sales. There's nothing wrong with going into sales from a treating therapist. I personally know therapists that got into sales and they're very happy. Yes, there's travel time. Yes, there's calls. Yes, deals are going to fall through. But at the end of the day, that's what they're passionate about. That's what they're doing, and they're happy to do it. Just a few more here. You could be a recruiter. Let's see here. Utilization review specialist. I know I actually see on your group, Mike, a lot of people are accepting jobs of that. So that's awesome. It's awesome to, and if possibly we could even get them on an interview, see how things are going, how they applied for a job, what do they actually do. So things like, again, all of these are just ideas, but it's up to you to execute on these ideas, which is what I think a lot of people are in that comfort zone where they don't explore different options. Or maybe you are exploring options, but you didn't make the jump yet. So again, we'll give you all the support we can, from our side. but it's always up to you to execute. And yeah.
Those are amazing tips, Steve. I like the word sales. We are the best salesmen in the world. Imagine you're a therapist going to a nursing home, convincing that patient that has Alzheimer's or dementia. You're going to be able to convince them to do therapy with you. Work out with them. Gosh, we are all
Good
the
point,
best
Mike.
salesmen.
Yep.
We know how to do that. The problem now is that we, like what Steve says, we are stuck in that analysis paralysis. Get out of that analysis and then that paralysis and then start executing that plan. We like to plan and plan like therapy. We like short-term goals, long-term goals. We have the subjective, I'm complaining about my career, stuff like that. We got the objective, oh, this is what I want to be. And then we got the assessment and the plan going on for our career, but we forget that plan, that last part of executing that plan of care. We're so good in writing up our SOAP, we're evaluating our lives, but we get stuck in that plan of care. We got to execute, like what Steve said. Again, Steve, thank you very much. Where can we find you? Where can we reach you, sir?
You could always shoot me an email at steve@hellonote.com or shoot me a message on Facebook. And I'll be happy to respond if you want to chat, or just shoot me an email with any questions. That's always fine.
All right. Again, well, thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate you. Again, before I let you go, my Facebook friends, always remember the word FAST, F-A-S-T, letter F. Find friends that will bring out the best in you, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So who are you hang out with? Today, I hang out with Steve. I feel like I want to be like a CEO of Hello Note or whatever, right? I want to be like him. You want to find people. You got to be specific, my friends. And I taught a class this morning. I told the people who attended the class, you got to be specific, all right? You got to be meaningful, specific. You cannot be just a wandering generality. Do you think Steve and I would just decided, hey, let's just go live? No, we planned it. It was very specific. Let's go ahead, go live at 1, go live at 2. So you got to be intentional, okay? Next letter is letter A, is you take action. Like what Steve said, you got to make sure you execute. Stop the analysis paralysis. If you want to achieve your next level, find your open up your OTPreneur or whatever kind of business you want to start. Take action. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look at my small little office here. It's not even perfect, right? Only Steve is perfect. Steve's office is perfect, right?
There's no perfect in entrepreneurship.
There you go. Next is letter S, is shoot for the moon. Why? If you keep shooting for the moon, you're going to miss it, but you're going to be landing with the stars. You're going to fail. You're going to encounter a lot of challenges when you start your business, like what Steve and I have been talking about. But it doesn't matter how many times you failed or fallen or whatever, failed in that business. What matters how many times you get up and do this all over again. Steve probably failed multiple times in creating. And there's a reason why he has Hello Note 2.0. It's not because the previous Hello Note is a failure, but because there were challenges along the way, right? Thank you very much. I learned a lot there. Thank you. Appreciate you, whoever you are, Facebook user.
Thank you.
So keep going, okay? Don't stop. Last letter is letter T, is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, that's what Steve is doing. He's teaching us how to use Hello Note, how to use stuff, how to be more efficient. And that's how you understand it and be better. All right. Again, thank you very much. Appreciate you, Facebook friends, YouTube friends, wherever you're watching. And again, thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate you for your time. Any last parting wisdom, or you're good to go?
Yeah. So what I always say, just if you have a passion for something, don't waste your time just thinking and planning and planning and planning. You have to execute. And the worst thing that can happen is you try, and if you don't succeed, you do something else, or you fix on your mistakes from before. And we're all here to help. So reach out, and we'll hopefully put you on the path where you need to go. So thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone watching, and all the best.
Thank you again, Steve. Thank you again, Facebook friends. Be awesome, be great, be excellent. And we'll see you later, my Facebook friends, or YouTube, or whatever friends. Podcast. Bye-bye.
Hello Note is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. Hello Note reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing, claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.